Welcome back to Shadowline News. After days of uncertainty and international outcry, we now have answers about Rose Njeri's whereabouts and the charges against her. But those answers have only deepened the controversy and sparked nationwide outrage that threatens to transform this case into a defining moment for Kenya's democracy. Rose Njeri, the software developer and civic activist, was arraigned at the Milimani law courts after spending more than 90 hours in police custody. The charges have now been revealed, and they have stunned legal experts, technology professionals, and ordinary Kenyans alike. She faces one count: unauthorized interference with a computer system, contrary to Section 16 of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act. The specific allegations paint a picture so absurd that critics are comparing it to dystopian fiction. Detectives say Njeri knowingly created a program hosted at https://civic-email.vrseltpp that automatically generated and sent mass emails to financekomamitina at parliament.go.ke, which is the official system of the Finance Committee, thereby interfering with the normal functioning of Parliament systems. In essence, the government is criminalizing the act of making it easier for citizens to contact their elected representatives. The public reaction has been swift and scathing. Kenyans across social media platforms are expressing disbelief that their government would prosecute someone for facilitating democratic participation. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions is facing unprecedented criticism for what many see as a grotesque misuse of cybercrime legislation to silence civic engagement. Legal experts are describing the charges as a dangerous precedent that could criminalize basic democratic tools. The charges read like something straight out of George Orwell's 1984 novel, according to technology commentators who are highlighting the Orwellian nature of criminalizing citizen communication with government. The irony is palpable. In a democracy, facilitating citizen contact with representatives is being treated as a criminal interference with government systems. What makes this case particularly egregious is the technical mischaracterization of Njeri's platform. Her email system was not a cybercrime, it was a tool for civic participation. By mischaracterizing it as an automatic bot and charging her under the Act, the government appears to be exploiting the Act to criminalize a legitimate technological initiative. This fundamental misunderstanding of technology by prosecutors suggests either incompetence or deliberate misrepresentation to justify an unjustifiable prosecution. The legal proceedings themselves have been marked by irregularities that continue to raise constitutional concerns. When the matter was called out in court, Njeri did not take plea, suggesting procedural issues that may indicate ongoing due process violations. However, the court did grant her release, with Njeri released on a 100,000 Kenyan shillings bond, providing some relief after her prolonged detention. The timing and nature of these charges reveal the government's apparent strategy to intimidate civic technologists through selective prosecution. By choosing to prosecute under cybercrime legislation rather than any law actually related to civic engagement, authorities are sending a clear message: develop technology that empowers citizens at your own peril. This approach threatens to chill innovation in Kenya's technology sector, particularly in the civic technology space. The broader implications for Kenya's democracy cannot be overstated. If sending emails to members of parliament can be criminalized as interference with computer systems, then virtually any digital civic engagement could theoretically be prosecuted. This interpretation of cybercrime law effectively makes criminals of citizens who use technology to participate in democracy, fundamentally inverting the relationship between government and governed. The international community is watching this case with growing alarm. Kenya has built its reputation on being a regional leader in technology and democratic governance. The prosecution of Rose Njeri for facilitating citizen engagement directly contradicts both pillars of that reputation. International partners, donors, and investors are likely reassessing their relationship with a country that criminalizes basic democratic participation. The misuse of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act in this case highlights broader concerns about how governments across Africa are weaponizing cybercrime legislation to suppress dissent and civic engagement. Originally designed to combat actual computer crimes like hacking and fraud, these laws are increasingly being twisted to prosecute political opponents and civic activists. Kenya's case could set a dangerous precedent for the entire continent. The technical community's response has been particularly noteworthy. Software developers and technology professionals are expressing solidarity with Njeri while also recognizing the chilling effect this prosecution could have on their own work. Many are questioning whether they can safely develop civic technology tools without risking criminal prosecution for facilitating democracy. What emerges from this case is a fundamental question about the nature of democracy in the digital age. If governments can criminalize the tools that make democratic participation more accessible, then democracy itself becomes a privilege reserved for those with the time, resources, and knowledge to navigate bureaucratic barriers. Njeri's platform eliminated those barriers, which may be precisely why authorities found it threatening. The public outrage surrounding these charges suggests that Kenyans understand what's at stake. This is not merely about one software developer or one website. It's about whether Kenya will remain a country where citizens can use technology to hold their government accountable, or whether digital tools for civic engagement will be driven underground by fear of prosecution. As this case moves forward, with the next hearing scheduled for June 20th, it will serve as a crucial test of Kenya's judicial independence. Will the courts recognize the absurdity of these charges and protect democratic rights, or will they become complicit in criminalizing civic engagement? The answer will determine not just Rose Njeri's fate, but the future of digital democracy in Kenya. For Shadowline News, we will continue monitoring every development in this landmark case that has captured national attention and international concern. The stakes for Kenya's democratic future have never been clearer, and the world is watching how this story unfolds.